How to hire a contractor. Hi, my name is Michael Mitchell with the Investor Renovation Mastery. I have hired and fired a lot of contractors. I have personally ran over 1,000 renovations. During this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about hiring the right contractor. If you stay to the end, I will be giving you my cheat sheet for gathering all the right paperwork from your contractor. The first part to any renovation is you want to plan it. Decide exactly what you want. If you are not sure exactly what you want, I recommend you hire an interior designer. Your interior designer will give you a print of the desired outcome that you're looking for. This paperwork is what you're going to want to present to your contractor. Once the planning is done, it is time to go look for a contractor. First thing you want to do is call friends or family because they are someone you like and trust. Well, most of the time. I guess it depends on the week, right? But if they've hired a contractor, you're going to get the best review from that person. And after you get a referral to a contractor, ask the person that's referring them if they would hire that contractor again. If they say yes, absolutely, then good news is you have a good contractor. If they say no, keep searching, right? If you do not get a good referral from someone that you know, like, and trust, then it is time to turn to Google. So the first thing you're going to do is type in the specific contractor that you're looking for. Go down in the first part. It should list off a bunch of different contractors. Make sure they have a website. Go to their website, check out their website, look for any pictures, testimonials, and just make sure that their site is professional. After you review the website, go back to Google and check for any reviews. Read all the reviews that you can find on the contractor. If they have 0 reviews, it might be a red flag, but still maybe not because they could be new to advertising on Google. So what you want to do after that is take their phone number and actually Google search their phone number. Because a lot of times there will be other clients such as like Angie's List, and they will post a negative review on a different platform than what you could have found on Google. So just search the number and it will list up a whole bunch of different services that contractor might be getting work from, and inside that specific service is a review center, and you're going to want to review those and make sure that they're having a 4 to 5 star rating. So now that you've found a contractor, it's time to make the call. So during your conversation with the contractor, you want to explain to them what you're looking to do with your renovation, and ask them if this is something that they've done before. If they say yes and everything checks out, then you're going to want to ask them for some previous clients' phone numbers or some references, and they'll send you over a list, preferably get 3 to 5. You're definitely going to want to call them, and I promise you, if that referral reference had a good experience, they're going to be happy to talk to you. If they had a bad experience, they're still going to be happy to talk to you. So you're just going to call them, very short conversation, ask them how the project went, how they did, was there any delays, did they stay on budget, did they stay on task, what was their experience, and just get a feel for it. If the conversation is going really good with that person, just ask if you could come over and see the work that they completed. Sometimes they will let you, sometimes not. If they let you, great, 100%. Go over there and look at it. Make sure to express your gratitude to that person that is giving you their time, because this is ultimately what's setting you up for success on your renovation. When meeting the contractor, you call them to your house, you set up a time and an appointment. When the contractor shows up, be sure to trust your gut, because understand, you're going to be working with this contractor for a while. It could be a week, depending on what you're hiring a contractor for. It could be a few days, it could be a few weeks, it could be a few months, it could be a year. It depends on the size of your project. So if you meet the contractor and you just have this weird feeling about the person, I probably wouldn't hire them, because they're going to be a big part of your life for a period of time. And so you just want to make sure you're going to have a good relationship with that person before you hire them, and then you have to spend the next amount of time with them inside your house and with you in your life. So you just got done walking the house, you showed them the plan, now it's time to ask them for an estimate. This usually can take a few days, maybe a week, again, depending on the size of your project. If it's something real small, they'll probably give you a price right there on the spot. You want to make sure you get their estimate in writing, and also be sure that their estimate is very detailed. You got to avoid a lump sum estimate, because a lot of times what will happen if you get a lump sum estimate and it just says remodel kitchen, the price. What will happen 9 times out of 10 is they will start the renovation, and somewhere in there you'll catch something. Maybe it's the hardware. You'll say, hey, when are you going to install the hardware? The contractor's going to say, that's not in my estimate. Well, damn, when I look at your estimate, there's really nothing included besides remodel my kitchen. So you want to avoid that. You want to make sure that it's very detailed. A through Z, they're going to complete everything, and you know exactly what you're getting, and they know exactly what you want, and it's in writing. They're going to sign it, and you're going to sign it and put the date on it. So now that you got the estimate, it's time to get the necessary paperwork from the contractor so you're protected and you know he's a legit business. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get a W-9 from him, and then you're going to want to get his insurance. The insurance is really, really important. Now, in the description below, I put a link that you can click on, go over, put your email in it, and I will send you this checklist so you can print it off and stick it to your wall and make sure that you get the necessary paperwork that's required. And I'll explain why. So a W-9, if you plan on writing this off on your taxes, you're going to need a W-9 up front. And that brings me to a really good point. Make sure that you're doing all this, as I say, in sequential order, because you want to get the paperwork up front, because if something happens in the middle of the project, getting this paperwork will be impossible and you will be upside down or put in a very bad place. So you got the W-9, get their insurance. Now, there's a very specific way you want to get their insurance. The very first thing you want to do is when you request their insurance, you want to request it from their insurance agent. So it goes something like this. Hey, Mr. Contractor, you have insurance? Yes, I do. So can you have your insurance agent send me a copy of your insurance and make me a certificate holder? Becoming a certificate holder on an insurance policy is free. It takes no extra money. It just takes a little bit of time. What the insurance company is going to ask for, they're going to ask for your name and your address. That's it. And then they're going to take your information and they're going to make you a certificate holder on the policy. So if any changes happens in their insurance, maybe they lapse on it, they don't pay it, then the insurance company will send you out a letter. They'll notify you and let you know that this particular contractor is no longer insured. So it's really, really important that you have your name as a certificate holder. The next thing you want to look for is on the insurance is make sure they have general liability, and then at least $1 million coverage. And then you want to go down that page and look for workers' composition. If the contractor does not have workers' composition, then you're going to want to make sure you have him fill out a work comp waiver. Now, per your state, you just maybe want to check with a local lawyer and make sure that that's going to hold up in court if something was to happen. Here's why. Contractor does not have workers' composition. If they come to your house and they're working, they fall down and get hurt, something happens and they get injured or they die, then what can happen is you will end up getting sued. If they end up dying on the property, then their spouse, they can actually sue you and take your house. So you do want to make sure that you have a workers' composition waiver signed. Preferably, just want to make sure they have work comp. But check with your local attorney and see if a workers' comp waiver will waive the right of them actually suing you if they get hurt, and it puts all responsibility back on them. So now that you got the insurance paperwork and stuff taken care of, you want to make sure that you have a contract, a detailed contract, a contract that states the scope of work, it states the timeline, the amount of time it's going to take, and then also if they go over the timeline, what is the consequence? If they're estimating the project for 3 months, you want to make sure that if it goes 3.5 months, that there is something that is binding them to a penalty charge to make sure that they stay motivated to get your project done. So after you get the contract done, you're going to want to determine the timeline, the day-to-day timeline. What contractors call it is a Gantt chart. So you want to make sure that you have a Gantt chart. Demo is going to take this long. framing is going to take this long, roughing's going to take this long, and so forth, all the way down the scope of work, so you know about how long everything's going to take. So then from the Gantt chart, this is where you build out your draw schedule, because you never want to overpay a contractor. You pay them too much, things go wrong, you're going to be in a tight spot, because they're either not going to come back or they're going to start managing the project on their own time. So you're going to want to make sure that you come up with a draw schedule. And depending on the size of your project, really depends on how much you pay. But I definitely would not do no more than 30% if it's for like a single trade. So if you have a painter coming out, I wouldn't do no more than 30% down. And I highly recommend that first payment will be handed to the contractor whenever they come to the project, they buy tools, and they get started. The first day they start, you can hand them that 30% check. Now, if you're doing a large renovation, say it's $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 or up, then you're going to want to do everything by work in progress. The way I break down a work in progress is I use spreadsheets. I really would have to show you on my computer. If this is something that you are doing, you're doing a larger renovation, down in the comments, just put in spreadsheet. I'll know exactly what you mean, and I will record a video for you that will explain to you exactly how I do a work in progress sheet, how I break out the timelines, the percent done, and what the payment structure needs to be. And so it's a way for you to just keep control. So again, if you want that, just comment below spreadsheet, and I will hook you up with that video, and it will make a big difference in your renovation. So let's recap. You planned your project, you know exactly what it is you want, so you can take that plan, give it to your contractor, and you know that he's bidding exactly what it is you want. The next thing is you go and find a contractor. Check with friends and family, maybe Google, locate a good contractor, ask them some questions. You're going to ask for some references of some previous clients. Make sure you call them, possibly walk the job if you can. Then the next step is to bring the contractor to see the actual project. During that process, you want to make sure you trust your gut and just know that you're going to be working with this contractor possibly for a while. So once that is done, then you're going to want to get the necessary paperwork up front. Again, down in the description, you'll find hiring a contractor and a link that you can click on and then get my cheat sheet. So you're making sure that you're asking the right questions and getting all the paperwork that you need up front before the project even starts. So then you're going to want to get a detailed estimate, review that, make sure that everything is in there to complete your project and you're happy with it, happy with the price especially. And then you're going to want to determine the timeline and the draw schedule. Once that's all figured, you got a signed contract, everything's black and white, so you know exactly what's going on. They know exactly what's going on. You're setting expectations right up front. So then it's time to execute the job. You want to break everything down in a spreadsheet so you can track exactly where they're at, when they're going to be done in the schedule process. So after all of that, you are now ready to start your renovation. During your renovation, you're just going to want to make sure, just keep a keen eye and make sure that everything is going to your likings. And if something comes up, something that you feel funny about, be sure to be bold and bring it to their attention. That contractor is there to serve you and make money, and at the same time, you want to end with a good product. So if you see something that you're unsure about, then definitely call them out on it and just have a conversation. Once that conversation is done, you're going to want to document that on some kind of like Google Drive or some kind of paperwork. Okay, on this date, I talked to the contractor about this. This is what he said, and move on. Now, that might come in handy if they keep messing up. Then you're going to have a whole list of paperwork documented that you can present to an attorney and so forth. So I'm going to be doing a 3-part series of this. So we're going to be talking about how to hire a contractor in this video, and then we're going to be talking about how to fire a contractor, and I'm going to do another video on how to pay a contractor. Because all 3 of these videos are really detailed, and it really is a lot of information, something that you need to know in order to have a successful project. Hey, if you got value from this, just comment below value, and if you're new here, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you're notified every single time I put up a new video. Thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.